What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Dogecoin today, DOGE. It is the 8th day of November. We haven't talked about Dogecoin in a couple of weeks, but here we are, about 17.4 cents, coming off of yesterday's nice little recovery, 10.6% pump. Nice to see. You are finding resistance here where you found support before. That's not necessarily ideal, but sometimes you do find a little turbulence before you break out, and that's totally fine, right? That's really not a big deal. I do think that we will break out higher. I do think we'll recover. I very much do believe that's the low. But let's go over all of our scenarios before we get too much further into this video. Okay, so hit the like button, subscribe. Let's go. Here we are on the 1 hour time frame. Looking like this is I would say it's a bull flag, right? You moved up. You're kind of flagging out now. Maybe it's a broadening top to some degree, but tomato, whatever. You're slipping here, but there's not a whole lot of volume, right? You're breaking out, but there's no follow through. Here, when you broke out, you had the next two candles had more volume than the first candle that broke you out, right? Like you were building volume here. Here, you're decaying in volume as you're moving lower. So I do think that we're at an area to find support. Looking at the lows here from the 4th of November to the high there, we are right between the 236 and the 382. Perhaps we move a little bit lower. Maybe down, you're at 17.4 cents now. Perhaps we move down to about 17 cents itself. 16.8 cents, somewhere in this area that we found resistance before. We might back test for support. That makes sense to me. But we don't have to. I mean, we could find support here. It would make more sense to me just based off of the fibs. It would make more sense to me to go down to this 382 area. Something right around 17 cents or even just below it. 16.8 cents at the most. But we don't have to. I mean, we could find support here. There's nothing wrong with that. But I really wouldn't be surprised. I guess I am calling for a 17-cent price. So a little bit lower, right? The 1 hour RSI has no beef with that. The stochastics have no beef with that. And the MACD, you could come lower and bounce off the zero. RSI, come down lower, bounce off the zero. Stochastics, whatever, hang out here like you did here, and then we can move up higher. 4 hour time frame. Again, we're not talking about anything extreme. The 4 hour MACD doing this again. If you've been watching my channel for the past couple weeks now, we've noticed this. And to my own detriment, I'm putting it on everybody's radar. So you don't even have to understand the MACD to understand what this kind of dynamic is. It doesn't work out every single time, but I've noticed it a good bit of the time, is that when we do cross above the zero, we consolidate. Once you cross only for whatever reason on the 4 hour time frame, not any other time frame, just the 4 hour, when the MACD crosses above the zero, that's actually a point at which we consolidate. And here we are, crossing above the zero, perfect time to consolidate. We typically consolidate for 1 to 3 days, 1.5 day, 3 days, somewhere in that kind of time frame. So any day now, maybe tomorrow, if not Monday, we should be moving back to the upside, right? Typically what happens is you break the zero on your MACD, you consolidate on your price, and then the MACD chills, and then we get another pop afterwards that takes us higher, and it's typically a bigger pop than what brought you into this. So as nice as that was, I would assume that when we do start moving up next week, we're going to see Dogecoin back at 21 cents and above. I would think in the next 3 days or more, like 3 to 5 days, we'll be at 20 cents or more. And the or more option is what I would really take into consideration. We really could be even above 25 cents by the end of next week. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, the RSI overall is very positive. You've got higher lows. You actually had a double bottom here, kind of moved sideways, and now we're forming an uptrend, higher lows and higher highs, right? With these higher lows here and these higher highs here, you could move a little bit lower and still be fine. So again, just leaving the door open. We're at 17.4 cents now. If we were to go lower and back test this area for support where we had resistance before, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? We could do that. Stochastics look bullish. To be completely fair, both crossed down out of the overbought zone. Makes me think we could come down to the 50, and again, allowing the price to come down a little bit lower as well. And then the MACD, well, we already went over that, so we don't need to do that again. Daily time frame here. Stochastics are bouncing off the oversold zone, looking bullish overall. Over the days and weeks ahead, we should be growing into this overbought zone here, so that's nice. Going into probably the middle of the month and the end of the month, things should really start to shape up. It is the 8th now, so we're getting toward the middle of the month. We do have bullish divergence on the daily MACD. Bullish divergence where you have a deep red reading here in your histogram, a deep red here, but it's a higher low, and then an even higher low here. Higher lows with lower lows in the price. Bullish divergence. That's probably why you had this nice reaction here, and you're probably going to continue moving higher. Stochastics bouncing off the oversold zone. Again, we think that we're going to move up higher here. And then the RSI on the daily time frame, let's just see. Bouncing off the oversold zone. You're still in a downtrend. You still have these lower lows and lower highs kind of controlling you, break this, right? It's okay if we find a little turbulence today, but break this, get above the 50. And I think you'll see that kind of a reading once you're back above 20 cents. So you should be seeing that over the coming days. And again, with that, you're breaking out of this trend. Typically, when you break a downtrend, you get a positive reaction like here, right? Let me draw a straight line so we can actually see. High to low here. We broke out of this trend like right here, okay? And then maybe not for the next week did we do anything, but a week after, within the next 10 days, we did see a positive reaction. So, you know, we break this trend now. Within the next 10 days, we should see a positive reaction. I do think that within the next week, we would actually see something that takes us at least to 21 cents, if not potentially 25 cents or more. You really could over the next 7 to 10 days. Weekly time frame, zooming out a little bit more here, looking at the Binance chart. Should we use Binance? Let's use something that has a little bit more history to it. We'll use the all-time history. We'll look at the monthly chart on this one. Overall, Dogecoin is accumulating, right? Massive sell-off here. Rounded out the bottom a little bit. You rounded it out, and now you're just in this accumulative channel right here. Higher lows and higher highs. Accumulative channel right there. Finding support here at prior areas of resistance and support back here. Okay, I very much do believe that Dogecoin's getting set up for its next move. We haven't seen a Dogecoin move this whole cycle. People think that this was Dogecoin right here. This was a Dogecoin move, but that's not it, man. The next move, that was cute. 161% in a month, that was cute. We're going to see 200%, 400% in a month, right? November could be the month that closes with a multi-100% close, if not December. I very much believe that from an all-time high to a bear market low perspective, my expectation is that we'll interact with this minimum target, the 1272, by the end of the year. So being here at 17.4 cents, you've got 8.5x potential between now and the end of this year. And if you're not there, certainly something that is at new all-time highs, right? So certainly I would expect that we are around $1, if not more, by the end of this year. And that's anywhere from like a 5, almost a 6x, to about an 8x. So a lot of potential. Have some patience, have some faith. Buy the dip while you can. And I mean, if you're curious as to where I think Dogecoin is going to go overall this cycle, this is something I've been calling for really since 2022, is that we're going to see Dogecoin above $4. I don't know how high it's going to go. I don't think we go to $8, but I do think we'll see something above $4. And with that, I leave you. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your mothers and your fathers and your friends and your pets. Give them love, even if they're cats. Cats need love too. I'm on a whole different note here, but on that note of cats needing love, you know, a lot of people say cats are not, like, dogs are better than cats because dogs make you feel loved. Whenever you come home, a dog will interact with you. They're happy to see you. I think I've come up with this theory, guys, that cat owners are just assholes, because my cats, when I come home, they come up to me. They love me. They meow. My cat Rafiki will literally lick me like a dog. They love me. They interact. Whenever I'm making videos here, they will come up and I will be petting them, that they'll be laying down with me. They're very interactive with me. But maybe that's just because I'm a good pet owner. I give them love and I give them respect. So maybe people who don't like cats, I'm a dog person myself. I never thought I'd be a cat dad. But I've always heard that cats are less maintenance and they're not as compassionate as dogs. They're just as compassionate. Dogs are a little bit more like young children, you know, happy, in your face, energetic. Cats are obviously not like that, but they're very much friendly, loving creatures, to me at least. I think it says, if you have cats who are not affectionate, I think that says something about you as a person, really, is what that is, right? Because you could be a terrible person and your dog is still going to be affectionate, but to have a cat that's affectionate to you, I think that says something, right? You got to have some level of respect. So maybe cat owners are just assholes, typically. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe. Bye-bye.